the Oriveti Lowmaster. Let's talk about it. Now this is a 2BA1 dynamic driver, $150 IEM sent out to me directly from Oriveti. I want to thank them for this opportunity to review this product, and all thoughts and opinions are my own. First of all, let's get this out of the way. The Lowmaster is a very funny name for this for many reasons. This should be called the Midmaster. This is more of a mid-centric vocal set. We'll talk about it in the graph section, but I wanted to get that very clear that this name, I just think it's kind of funny. It just reminds me of like a 80s workout video, you know, with some lady in spandex, you know. I don't want to go beyond that, but the name is funny in many regards. But beyond the name, let's talk about the IEM itself. Let's start by talking and looking at the build quality of this lovely set. Now the shell is very tiny. It's almost too small, and if I had to give it a fault, it would be that it's too small for some people. But I find it very comfortable and really relaxing to have in ear. It's really honestly one of the best shells I've had as of late because it's small. It has the wing. It's light. It has an ear tip wing. It also has like a ear tip lip where ear tips will stay on it. Its wing and just everything about the shell feels very nice for the cost. And again, I like the design of this shell. The shell and the faceplate are kind of boring, but again, the nozzle and the wing of this make this a really solid set. This has a nice little selection of tips. Its case is also very nice, plush, and I like the case a great deal. Now the cable for this, not too exciting, 3.5 cable, but the feeling of this cable is nice. It's a black wired. It feels really nice in hand. It's kind of juicy. It has a Y split and a really nice chin slider with no problems. Again, this is a solid, fine cable. I think it's very appropriate at this price with no major issues. It doesn't have a 4.4, which there are cables at this price point like the new Kima and the new Fio that have that, but you know, here you can see the right and left connectors on it. Now this is a mid-focused set. We're going to talk about it in the graph section, but overall the sonic quality of this IEM is very resolute. It has a sense of space. It doesn't have a super punchy bass, but it's nice and fun, and it has some good qualities and some qualities which may not be great for you as well. Let's compare this to a few other graphs and then we'll give it a rating. All right, let's look at the Lowmaster's graph. You'll notice that it doesn't have a ton of bass. It kind of has that warm, gradual rise. It does have a bit of 1K energy. It does have a dip at around 3K and a little bit of a rise at around 4.5K where it dips back down up to 5K. So it has an interesting graph, but actually fairly nice and fairly balanced for what many people will want. But it doesn't really shine at having those really clean, pristine mids or its bass. What it does do well at creating a sense of space and air around you. So for people that are looking for a really spacious set, this could be of fantastic value. Let's look at a few others from Oriveti and we'll go from there. I've had the opportunity to demo from friends and actually I got a sample of the Lowmaster not too long ago. And I'll be honest, not the Lowmaster, but the Dynabird. And the Dynabird had a ton of bass, but it just wasn't really that great. Like, just because it has a little bit more of this energy here doesn't mean it's a cohesive set. It had a ton of energy at the 6 to 8K. You'll notice the difference there. A little bit of a peak here. And again, the Dynabird's not a bad set, but it's kind of fit different and had some minor kind of qualms and issues about it. I personally like the Lowmaster better, but I could see people liking the Dynabird depending on what areas you're sensitive to on a graph. Another one to look at, the Oriveti OD100. I think the Lowmaster is a way better tune than the Oriveti 200. Like if we look at this normalized at 200, You'll notice the 200 has a ton of bass, but it also has a ton of treble and presence region. Was the Lowmaster is a lot more even kiltered, and I think just overall a better tuned set, and it just sounds better in ear, and that's something I wanted to note. Another one, the Oriveti 200. I mean, I like this set, but it falls off like a cliff. It has a lot of mid bass and rather sub bass. The tuning of it is just kind of, I don't know. It's okay. It's okay, and I think some people might like the OD 200 more, but I didn't really like the overall approach of it. And for me, and for what I like, I would kind of go with the Oriveti Lowmaster better for a few reasons. Another one to look at is their flagship, the OH 700. This is a fantastic set. It has bass, it has extension. I mean, I think one of the reasons we need reviewers is that we need to understand what levels up here sound like. And, you know, the Oriveti 700 is a fantastic set. It's their flagship. I think they do have a new flagship, which I'm trying to get on channel. And, but the Lowmaster is, I don't know, it's a lot closer to the OH 700 than a lot of their other sets that I've tried have been. So for me, it's not as good as their 700, but it's the closest thing. It's the best thing that they've come up with, and that's kind of wanted to bring this up. What does this guy remind me of? This reminds me a lot of the Meyer Audio CK-LVX. I like the CK-LVX better, but you'll notice there's a lot of similar trends here. The Meyer Audio CK-LVX 62 is actually like 230, so it's almost an extra $100, and it's hard to justify what exactly you're getting out of it. I like the vocals in that set better. I feel like the Oriveti comes across as more of a trying to create a sense of space and air and presence around you, whereas like the 62D kind of has a similar approach, but it also does a well where like vocals seem to be a little bit more intimate and has this amazing colorization of sound that I fully enjoy. And I think it's part due to the frequency response, it's part can do with the IEM. I mean, the Meyer is a better set, but these do have some similar qualities, and I wanted to point those out. Another one to think about, Jay's Estrella. This is actually on sale right now for like $250, which is a solid price. But you'll notice that this is a lot like the Estrella, although the Lowmaster has a little bit earlier that 1.5K energy, which is not bad. I'm going to show you a set like that has that. And it also has way less bass. I think the driver configuration is different. I mean, I think the Estrella is a better set, but if your problem with the Estrella or your concern with the Estrella is the level of bass, the Lowmaster, despite not being a bassy set, still has a nice approach to mids and sounds really nice and organic, and I have no fault really with it. Another one to look at that this reminds me of, we're going to change the color here. Yeah. So we look at the Diva, and this is the red, meaning the least bass of that. And they'll notice a lot of similar trends. Like I think they're maybe they're trying to do this like depending on how things lined up. I do think the Diva is a better set, and it's really nice sounding. But I mean, the Lowmaster does some great things. It has, I think, a nice approach to bass. The Diva is a little bit more fine-tuned, whether it be drivers or tuning or whatever you want to call it. But I think the Diva is I mean, it's a better set, obviously. But their FR and some of the things they do to vocals remind me a little bit of each other, with kind of this 1K bump right here, kind of this wiggly little line here, this extra hump right around 4K. It's just something interesting to note that I wanted to point out. I mean, this is not for people that are after that critical red style tuning, that are after this mid-focused, clean tuning, but I do think the Lowmaster organically sounds good and appropriate for its price, whereas the Truth There Red, I mean, it kind of fell off like a rock, but I kind of wanted to point that out. But that's kind of very similar, like a very good tuning, what a lot of people like. Something else to show off would be like the Hexa. You'll notice this kind of has a similar trends as the Hexa, but for me, I like the Lowmaster more than the Hexa, but I could see people wanting the Hexa because of its more even kiltered approach to mids and it's a little bit more sparkly and airy. If that's what you're going for, I think the Hexa could be a little bit safer pick depending on what you want. All right, the Oriveti bleqk Lowmaster. Let's rank this guy up. $150 set. I mean, it's okay, you know. It has a decent tonality, decent tone. It's easy to listen to. It's fun. It's enjoyable. I have no major fault with it. I could see a lot of people liking this set. It's balanced. It's even. There's no major things that I really hate about it. I do think it has nice mids, but not the best crispy upper air and detail. I think it's not the most technical set. It's a set that's focused more on soundstage, and so its imaging and detail and pristineness in the music doesn't really come across very well in this tune, but it has just a really nice, open, beautiful sound. It has a comfortable shell. It's fun. But it doesn't have the technical chops. You'll notice that, well, I think it's tuned well. Its technicality rating of just an 8.0 is a little bit underwhelming for the price. So if you're a technicality or an EQer, this might not be for you. But if you're looking for a fun, relaxed set, I think the Oriveti Lowmaster is one of Oriveti's best, and I'm a huge fan. So summary, I like the packaging of this. This is a nice little IEM that they've done. I can vibe with it. I like it. It's comfortable. I think it's one of the better shelled IEMs out there. You know, its faceplate is kind of blarg and bland. Its cable is very kind of utopian and just, it's not super excitable. But overall, this is a nice little package with a nice IEM that doesn't really fit that new meta target, but it does have nice mids, and it is clean, and it is fun, and it is unique and a different set at a budget price that I think a lot of people are gonna like. And it does get a strong recommendation at this price, but I would encourage you to listen to some other reviewers before you go out and buy this. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I hope you guys have a great day. And you guys are going to be the first people to see my new outro. I hope you like it. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Oh, you're expecting a teaser for our next video. Well, we don't have that kind of money. What are you expecting? One of those store reviewers to show up in a saucy little leather number? Go. Oh, I can tell you one thing. We are going to have a collab video. And we have no idea what it's going to be. Probably Kryn, maybe Chris. Or Joyce. Don't deny it. She's got range. Go. Get out of here. Go.
Go!
Go.
Go on with you!